I just want to share one simple idea, an idea that completely changed my life. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's not about being the strongest. And it's definitely not about being lucky. It's about thinking correctly. Because when you learn how to think the right way, everything else starts to change. When I was young, I wasn't smart. Honestly, if you looked at my school reports, you would probably laugh. Fail again. Fail again. That was my story. I failed 3 times in middle school. I failed the college entrance exam, not once, twice, but 3 times. While others moved forward, I stayed behind. While others celebrated, I felt ashamed. And for a long time, I thought maybe I was just not good enough. I tried to get a job at KFC. 24 people applied. 23 were accepted. I was the only one rejected. Even the police refused me. Imagine how that feels. Rejected again and again. Every door closed. Every attempt ending in disappointment. At that time, I felt terrible. I felt small. I felt useless. But today, looking back, I can tell you this with complete honesty. Those failures were the best things that ever happened to me. Most people, when they fail, think like this: I'm stupid. I'm unlucky. I'm not talented. I'm not meant for success. That kind of thinking destroys people. Because failure is not a message that says stop. Failure is a message that says learn. Failure is not the end of the road. It is the beginning of training. Life gives you education in 2 ways, one you pay for. The other one is free. Failure is the free one. But only if you're smart enough to accept it. Every time I failed, I learned something. I learned that rejection is normal. I learned that when people say no, it does not mean you are no good. It simply means it is not your time yet. Timing matters. Some people succeed early. Some people succeed late. But that does not mean the late ones are worse. It just means they are being prepared. You need patience to wait for your time to come. And patience is not weakness. Patience is strength under control. The biggest mistake people make is how they think about problems. When most people see a problem, they complain. They blame the system. They blame other people. They blame their background. But when you complain, you waste energy. And energy is your most valuable resource. Smart people think differently. When they see a problem, they ask, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Where is the opportunity inside this problem? Because problems are not bad. They are just opportunities wearing dirty clothes. They don't look nice. They don't feel good. But if you clean them, if you solve them, you often find gold underneath. When I started my company, almost everyone told me I was crazy. They said the internet would never work in China. They said I didn't understand technology. They said I didn't understand management. They said, you don't have money. You don't have connections. How are you going to experience? How are you going to succeed? I listened carefully, and then I made a simple decision. I decided not to complain. I told them I may not have money, I may not have connections, but I have one thing. I have a brain, and I can learn to use it correctly. That belief was enough to start. You see, your brain is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it becomes weak. If you train it every day, it becomes strong. Every time something bad happens, you have a choice. You can say, why is this happening to me? Or you can say, what is this trying to teach me? That single shift in thinking changes everything. When you meet someone better than you, don't feel jealous. Jealousy teaches you nothing. Instead, feel inspired. Ask questions. Be curious. Learn from them. That is how you grow. Life is not about who runs the fastest. It's about who can keep running without quitting. I was not the fastest runner. I was not the smartest runner. But I was a stubborn runner. I kept going. And that stubbornness came from thinking correctly. One thing I want you to remember deeply: if you think small, you will stay small. If you think big, you may fail once or twice, but eventually you grow bigger. Dreams are free. The cost of dreaming big or dreaming small is exactly the same, but the reward is very different. So why dream small when tough times come, and they will? The wrong question is, how do I survive? The right question is, how do I grow from this? Pain is the best teacher. It teaches lessons comfort never can. Comfort makes you lazy. Pain makes you stronger. So don't hate pain. Embrace it. Smile at it. Say, thank you to making me stronger. Many people wait for everything to be perfect before they start. They say, when I have more money, I will start. When I know more, I will act. When I'm ready, I will move. But the truth is simple, you are never fully ready. You start first, then you learn. Action comes before confidence, it creates clarity. You don't figure things out by waiting, you figure them out by doing. Failure does not mean you are weak. Failure means you are in motion. The only people who don't make mistakes are the ones doing absolutely nothing. And doing nothing is the most dangerous choice of all. Let me tell you something important. Rejection does not mean you are useless. Rejection means this path is not for you. Or this timing is not right. That's all. Life is redirecting you, not rejecting you. But only people who think correctly can see that. I want you to remember this line: failure is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Teachers are not always kind. They push you. They make you uncomfortable. But they make you better. If you can learn to respect failure instead of fearing it, you will never be destroyed by it. You don't need to be the smartest person. You don't need to be the strongest. And you definitely don't need to be lucky. You just need the right way of thinking. Because thinking correctly is where everything begins. Every strong action starts as a thought. Every great future starts in the mind. If you change the way you think, you change the way you see the world. And when you change how you see the world starts responding differently to you. So today, take this message with you. Failure is training, rejection is redirection, pain is preparation, and your past does not define you, your thinking does. Failure is not your enemy, it is your teacher. When you see a problem, don't complain. Complaining feels good for a moment. It gives you comfort. It gives you an excuse. But it also steals your time. And time is the one thing you never get back. Most people don't fail because they are weak. They fail because they spend too much energy complaining and not enough energy building. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not intelligence. It is not luck. It is not background. It is how they think about problems. When most people face a problem, their first reaction is emotional. Why is this happening to me? This is unfair. Others have it ease me. Others have it easier. That mindset turns problems into walls. But people who think correctly do something different. When they face a problem, they slow down, they breathe, and they ask one simple question: what is the opportunity hidden inside this problem? Because every problem carries a lesson. Every problem hides a door. You just have to be willing to look for it. I always say this: problems are opportunities dressed in dirty clothes. They don't look attractive. They don't arrive politely. They come with stress, fear, and uncertainty. But if you clean them, if you face them instead of running, you often discover something valuable underneath. Most people don't fail because the opportunity wasn't there. They fail because they were too busy complaining to see it. When I decided to start my company, nobody believed in the idea. Nobody. People laughed at me. They said the internet would never work in China. They said people would never trust online business. They said it was too risky, too early, too unrealistic. And they were right about one thing: I had no money, I had no connections, I had no technical background, I had no experience running a company. From the outside, it looked impossible. But instead of complaining about what I didn't have, I focused on what I could control. I could learn, I could think. I could work harder. I could stay longer. And that changed everything. Complaining is easy. Building is hard. But easy choices create hard lives. And hard choices create easy lives later. Most people want comfort now. They want understanding. They want sympathy. But growth does not live in comfort. Growth lives in responsibility. Let me tell you something important. The moment you complain, you give away your power. Because complaining says, this is not my responsibility. But the moment you take responsibility, even for things that are not your fault, you take back control. And control changes everything. When you own the problem, you also own the solution. Many people waste years asking, who caused this? Who is to blame? Why didn't they help me? But correct thinking asks a different question. What can I do about it? That question makes you stronger. Blame makes you weak. Responsibility makes you powerful. Your brain is like a muscle. If you use it only for complaining, it becomes lazy. If you train it to solve problems, it becomes sharp. Every problem is a workout for your mind. Every difficulty is a chance to train. That's why some people grow stronger under pressure, while others break. The difference is not the pressure. It is how they think. Next time something goes wrong, don't immediately say, why me? That question leads nowhere. Instead, ask, what is this trying to teach me? What skill do I need to develop? What weakness is this showing me? Life is always teaching. The question is whether you are listening. Another mistake people make is jealousy. When they see someone doing better, they feel angry, they feel insecure, they feel small. Jealousy is wasted energy. It teaches you nothing. But inspiration, that's different. When you see someone successful, don't hate them. Study them. Ask yourself, what did they do that I can learn from? What habits do they have? How do they think? Every successful person is a free lesson if your ego allows you to learn. People often say, I don't have opportunities. That is not true. Opportunities are everywhere, but they don't come labeled as opportunity. They come as problems. They come as confusion. They come as discomfort. That's why most people miss them. They are too busy looking for comfort. When you start building something new, you will face doubt from others, from society, from yourself. People will tell you it's too hard. It won't work. You should be realistic. But remember this, if something is easy, everyone will do it. And if everyone can do it, it will never make you special. Hard is good. Hard means fewer people will try. Hard means less competition. Hard means more growth. The hardest paths often lead to the greatest rewards, but only for those who think correctly. Correct thinking does not mean being positive all the time. It means being honest. It means seeing reality clearly, but choosing to act anyway. It means saying, yes, this is difficult. Yes, I am scared. Yes, I don't know everything, but I will move. But I will not complain. One powerful shift can change your entire life. Stop asking, why is life doing this to me? Start asking, what is life preparing me for? Because problems are not punishments. They are preparation. They are shaping you for something bigger. Many people say they want success, but they reject the problems that come with it. That's like wanting to be strong, but refusing to lift heavy weights. You can't separate success from struggle. They come together. And once you accept that, you stop complaining and start building. Building is slow. Building is lonely. Building is uncertain. But building gives you something complaining never will: progress. Even small progress changes your mindset. One solved problem gives you confidence. One small win gives you momentum. And momentum changes everything. If you train yourself to see problems as opportunities, you will never feel stuck again. Because even when things go wrong, you know you are learning. You know you are growing. You know you are moving forward, even if the movement is slow. Let me leave you with this truth. The world does not reward people who complain the most. It rewards people who solve problems. If you want to create value and solve problems, if you want success, stop complaining and start building. Remember this line: when you own the problem, you also own the solution. And remember this: too hard is good. Hard means fewer people will try. Be one of the few. Not today, not tomorrow, not next year. If you wait until you feel ready, you will be waiting for the rest of your life. Because readiness is not a feeling. It is a result of action. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes after you move. Many people believe success belongs to the most talented, the smartest, or the most prepared. That is not true. Talent is common. Ideas are common. What is rare is action. The world is full of people with great ideas who never took the first step. They planned. They thought. They waited. And waiting slowly killed their dreams. Correct thinking is simple. Move first. Learn fast. Adjust quickly. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You only need to see the next step. Every step you take teaches you something you could never learn by thinking alone. Most people want confidence before they act, but life works the opposite way. Action creates confidence. Experience creates clarity. Movement creates momentum. The more you do, the less afraid you become. Not because fear disappears, but because you become stronger than it. Fear is natural. If you feel fear, it does not mean you are weak. It means you care. It means you are stepping into something unknown. Fear will always travel with you. But here is the rule: fear can ride with you, but it never touches the steering wheel. You acknowledge fear. You respect it, but you do not obey it. Many people wait for perfect conditions. Perfect timing, perfect knowledge, perfect confidence. But perfection is a lie. Life is always messy. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be risk. Successful people don't wait for perfect conditions. They create progress in imperfect ones. When you start something new, you will make mistakes. That is guaranteed. But mistakes are not proof that you are failing. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. The only people who make no mistakes are the ones who do nothing. And doing nothing is the biggest mistake of all. Mistakes are feedback. They show you what works and what doesn't. They are data. If you learn from them, they make you smarter. If you fear them, they make you stuck. Learning by doing is the fastest way to grow. Books are helpful. Advice is helpful. But nothing teaches you faster than action. You don't learn how to swim by reading. You learn by getting into the water. Yes, it feels uncomfortable at first. Yes, you struggle. But that struggle is how learning happens. Another thing people fear is competition. They see others doing similar things and they panic. They say, there are too many people already. The market is crowded. I'm too late. That is the wrong way to think. Competition is healthy. Competition means the market is alive. It means there is demand. It means opportunity exists. If you are the only one doing something, maybe you should be worried. Instead of fearing competition, focus on your own progress. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be better than yesterday. Improving 1% every day changes your life over time. Small steps compound. Consistency beats intensity. Many people want fast results. They get excited at the start. They work hard for a few weeks. Then results don't come, and they quit. Real success is not built in excitement. It is built in consistency. It is built on the days when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one cares. That is when real winners are made. Overthinking is one of the biggest enemies of success. Thinking feels productive, but thinking without action is just delay. You can think yourself into fear. You can think yourself into doubt. Action breaks overthinking. One small step is stronger than 1,000 perfect plans. Let me tell you something important. You don't need to know everything to begin. You learn what you need when you need it. The road teaches you only after you start walking. Many people compare themselves to others. They see someone ahead and feel discouraged. They forget one thing: everyone starts at zero. Everyone struggles. You are not behind. You are just in the beginning. The real competition is not outside, it is inside. It is your fear, your laziness, your excuses. Beat those, and you are already ahead of most people. Action builds identity. The more you act, the more you see yourself as someone who moves, someone who tries, someone who doesn't quit at the first difficulty. And that identity becomes powerful. You don't grow by avoiding failure. You grow by facing it. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every lesson adds strength. And slowly, without realizing it, you become someone capable. Success does not belong to the fastest. It belongs to the ones who keep moving, even when it's hard, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable. Momentum beats motivation. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take the next step. You don't need perfect knowledge. You need movement. You don't need perfect confidence. You need courage for one step. Remember this: success comes from movement, not overthinking. And remember this forever: fear can ride with you, but it never touches the steering wheel. Move first, learn fast, keep going. Your life does not become big by accident. Your future does not grow on its own. Everything begins with how you think. If you think small, your actions will be small. Your courage will be small. Your future will be small. But if you think big, even when you fail, even when you struggle, you grow. Thinking big is not about ego. It is about vision. Dreams are free. They don't cost money. They don't require permission. They don't need approval. The cost of dreaming big and dreaming small is exactly the same. So why choose small dreams? Small thinking keeps you comfortable, but comfort is dangerous. Comfort slowly steals your future without making any noise. Real winners understand something important: growth never lives inside comfort. Growth lives outside it. That's why staying uncomfortable is not punishment. It is training. Pain is one of the greatest teachers in life. Most people run from pain. They hide from it. They complain about it. But pain has a message. Pain shows you where you need to grow. Pain shows you where you are weak. Pain shows you where you must become stronger. Comfort teaches nothing. Pain teaches everything. There are two ways to think in life. You can think like a victim, or you can think like a fighter. The victim says, "This happened to me." The fighter says, "This is happening for me." That one shift changes everything. When you choose responsibility, your life changes. Blaming feels easy, but it makes you powerless. Responsibility feels heavy, but it makes you strong. When you take full ownership of your life, you stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for rescue. You realize something powerful: you are the solution. Leadership thinking starts here. Even if you are not a leader yet, you think like one. A leader is not asked who is at fault. A leader asks what needs to be done. That mindset builds winners. Thinking big also means thinking long term. Most people think short term. They want fast rewards, quick results, instant comfort. But real success is slow. It is quiet. It is built when nobody is watching. Long-term thinking means planting seeds that may not grow for years and trusting that they will. Rejection will come. Doubt will come. People will laugh at your dreams. But rejection's not an insult. It is redirection. Life is guiding you, shaping you, preparing you. Only those who think correctly can see that. Most people live like leaves in the wind. They are pushed by circumstances, moved by opinions, controlled by fear. But when you think correctly, you stop being the leaf. You become the wind. You decide direction. You create movement. Choosing growth over comfort is not easy. It means being misunderstood. It means being alone sometimes. It means continuing when nobody supports you. But comfort costs you later. Growth rewards you forever. Your past does not define you. Your failures do not define you. Your thinking does. Every morning you get to choose. Small thinking or big thinking, victiming or fighter thinking, comfort or growth. Success is not an accident. It is a daily decision. A decision to think differently, to act responsibly, to stay uncomfortable. So remember this: as you move forward, your future is not decided by your past. It is decided by how you think today. And never forget, thinking correctly turns problems into projects, fear into fuel, and doubt into doors. This is the mindset of real winners.